This is Strictly Business, presented by the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored in part by the law offices of Young Wooldridge, San Joaquin Community Hospital. And now, here's your host, Cindy Pollard, President and CEO of the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce.
Hello and welcome back to Strictly Business. I'm Katie Allen with Pacific Gas and Electric Company, filling in for Cindy Pollard on this Monday morning. Well, joining us now are Cathy Butler, the President and CEO of the Downtown Business Association, and Bob Bell, the Chairman of the Downtown Business Development Corporation, the DBA's 501c3 that had taken on the redevelopment of downtown Bakersfield. Good morning and welcome to both of you. So happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Well, Bob and Cathy are here to give us some updates on the redevelopment plans. So for some of those that are unfamiliar, I can't believe who you are because you guys have such a great outreach strategy to ensure that everyone gets involved. If some of that are unfamiliar with the DBDC, tell us what it is and what's the primary focus.
Yeah, so the DBDC is a 501c3, so it's a nonprofit. And the purpose of it is when we lost redevelopment money, when our governor said that we weren't going to get any more money and they took a whole bunch from us, we had no vehicle to go forward with. And so the DBA had decided that we were going to try to form our own redevelopment agency to some extent. I don't want to call it that because cities and counties still have to perfect the work. Yeah. But what we did is we became a community activist organization that would go after finances to fund redevelopment projects. And so now the state can't ignore us, the federal government can't ignore us. We can do it as a private community group, and we basically represent the entire community. If the community needs something done, they can come to the DBDC, seek our help to get the funding through grants and private money, and we can go to the city, get it passed, and get moving on a project.
So this isn't just for downtown?
The primary purpose was downtown. That was our focus. Obviously, it's been our focus for many, many years. But that doesn't mean if a community group said certain things around a school or some activity or, name anything that really is to benefit the community, we really can't say no. The charter says community benefit, we have to respond. So we're going to do that.
And this is relatively new. It began last year, if I'm correct.
Correct.
So what are some of the things that you're currently working on?
Well, we are working with Urban Place Designs, and they are creating an urban design plan for downtown. Chevron sponsored and PG&E our first phase, and back in May we held workshops. First at our third Thursday with the community. We asked what they liked and didn't like about the downtown area and helped us with some strategic planning. We brought the stakeholders to the table and community leaders, and we came up with a design plan, the first phase of what ideas and concepts. But we now need the community to get involved, and they can check out this handy-dandy little pamphlet that is on the BakersfieldDBA.com website, and you can check DBDC, and the plan is here, and how you can get involved, and the ideas and concepts of working towards a development plan for downtown.
Right.
And what are some of those highlights of that? What are some of the suggestions that came out of all of these meetings?
So many things. The first thing is safe, secure, and welcoming, right? And so one of the main messages that we want to talk about this morning is who's getting involved already and what their reason is. But issues like parking, it's not that we don't have enough parking. It's not well marked. There's no directionals. They call them directional planning. And so part of our urban plan will pay great attention to putting the right parking items in action and directionals in action so that people that are visiting our downtown know where to park and know how to use our system. Another thing would be making it walkable, figuring out ways to improve our city in a manner where it's lit properly, where it's
Lighting.
walkable at night. Why are our stores closing at 5 o'clock? This is an enormous city, 52nd largest city in America. And we basically shut down very, very early, except for some bars and restaurants. That's not what we should look like. Cities a tenth of our size stay open until 10, 11 o'clock at night. Their businesses are vibrant. And if you want to bring revitalization to a community, make it walkable, make it open, make it fun, make the activities that our youth want to be involved in downtown.
And I was just going to ask, what can the businesses downtown help do to enhance the downtown? And you mentioned one of them: stay open later, alter hours, encourage more visitors to downtown.
Work with PG&E and help us with illuminating their buildings and storefronts.
And we are working with you
I
on that.
know.
I know we
I
are.
know.
We're very
I know.
proud. We're very
Yeah.
proud to support the DBA.
It's
PG&E has
great.
for years, and we
Great.
continue to.
But we need to identify districts. We have some wonderful districts downtown, from the arts, education, entertainment, government, financial, the Mill Creek. So we're in the process of looking at identifying those areas and creating entrance signs, wayfinding signs. These are some of the things that other cities have done to create a safe, secure, and welcoming area of their city. And this is the direction we need to go. And if we don't do it, who is?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
One of the cool things that happened was Jason Cater, who is Bike Bakersfield guy, came to us and said that he had started a young professionals organization.
Yeah.
Well, it started out, I think, around 150 got involved, then it was 400, now it's 900. They sit on our board. They also work with the Chamber of Commerce, very closely with Chamber of Commerce. But one of our number one ideas, I have 3 children, one a senior in high school, 2 in college. They have nowhere to go. I mean, they're very involved in their church and other types of civic activities. But at night, they'll go to 4 or 5 places downtown, cycle that system again, then it kind of stops. So we're engaging them as almost a lead organization with us to start looking at things that will help the next generation be involved, make downtown the place to be. I mean, why would you go to a new area when you can take and reinvigorate an existing area and turn it into, like, literally the hottest scene in our city? And who better than them? They're the ones that'll benefit. So let them get involved. They also are the ones with moms and dads that are highly successful. You can tap them for a few bucks or tap them for the lead into corporations that may want to do legacy funding on behalf of certain projects. So many ways that opens those doors. And we're really excited about working with them and listening to them. Their ideas they're fresh, they're smart, we think it's the answer.
And there's already been a lot of enhancements made downtown already. I mean, Mill
yes.
Creek and the lighting and the Padre and a lot of new
Fox.
restaurants in the Fox. And I mean, the list really goes on and on. And I know a huge main reason of that is because of the DBA and the hard work that has been done by that organization, and you, Cathy, specifically.
Well, DBA is about working with the businesses and helping them. And so, in fact, we're kicking off Small Business Saturday this week with champagne and shopping tours at the
that sounds
Padre
fabulous.
with the new pedicab service.
Oh, great.
And so that's what DBA is about. But DBDC is about creating a safe, secure, and welcoming area. And the way to do that is create an urban development plan and look at some of those areas that are underdeveloped. What can we do? And some of the areas that need to be addressed. And really create, this is a convention center. This is where conventioners come. And what do they see? What are we telling them? What do we think about our
What's
community?
easily accessible?
Yes.
Yeah. So what are the next steps? I know there's a plan in place, but really what are the next immediate steps?
Yeah, in earlier years, the city had state and federal funds to go after, right? And we had Donna Coons, who was, she was just so brilliant at figuring out areas, pockets that needed early help. And I'll tell you what, if you were a landowner and you didn't respond to her, she just goes somewhere else. She found a way to get amazing things done.
She's a go-getter, that's for sure.
But she's gone. That redevelopment agency is gone. The city still has enormous resources to do great things, but they can't go after state funding, federal funding. They can't go after private funding so much. So with the DBA-DBDC partnership, that urban plan, and what that basically is that's identifying what our city could look like. Specifically, everything where we could do high rises, where we could accelerate districts that, let's say, support the federal courthouse. So we put in buildings and support buildings that then house those offices for lawyers and other things that use the federal courthouse, use our existing
I was going to
courthouse
ask you,
system.
what are some of those things you could do? And that's an example of one.
And none of that's happened yet. That organization's not happened. And so parking garages where they might be, the number one thing on my list, well, two, actually, there's 2 on my list. I love the idea idea of education and a college being downtown. I own the property where Starbucks is downtown, and we have Laverne College, University of Laverne, at that location. They're very interested in expanding and putting in other types of resources for their students. But I like the idea of becoming the lead organization and doing something that's friendly to all campuses and bringing education downtown.
CSUB, Bakersfield College, others.
Especially, I get the future stuff, but one of the problems that Bakersfield is having is the gen ed stuff. And I think if we put in buildings or used existing, I guess they're hotels now, kind of crummy. Well, I don't want to say crummy. Anyway, we have some hotels.
We're
that
talking
can be
about
turned-
enhancement here, Bob.
Beautiful
Underdeveloped.
downtown. But anyway, we have some hotels that could be converted into some
Yes,
great
we have
locations.
some vacant, a lot of vacant space that can be utilized for other resources.
We do. And then the other big item on my personal list is we don't really have a green belt. Yeah, we do have Central Park, but oh my goodness, how cool would it be to have an open air concert center? I mean, my mind just goes nuts with figuring out the idea of bringing an activity downtown where people can be every night. And most cities have that. Most downtowns have created that green belt, and that's where stuff keeps happening.
Yes.
And I want that to happen. Central Park is doing a great job, but it's out on that periphery a little
Yeah.
bit.
Something more in central downtown.
It would be terrific.
Well, we can't. Go ahead.
Or how do you make it walkable for those residents that want to walk to Central Park, and you have a couple areas that they walk around?
Pockets.
So we need to identify that and create a green belt and work with those existing property owners and creating something that would benefit everyone.
Well, you are well on your way. I work in downtown Bakersfield. I'm very happy to be there, as many of my colleagues are, and it is really being enhanced and growing. And we look forward to the many steps that are on the way. So thank you both so much for coming again. Cathy Butler, President and CEO of the Downtown Business Association, and Bob Bell, Chairman of the Downtown Business Development Corporation, the DBA's 501c3. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much again.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, you're watching Strictly Business. I am Katie Allen with PG&E, filling in for Cindy Pollard. We'll be right back after this.